Hey, my name is John. I go by John Skellington on YouTube, and this is my very first devlog for my project, Skeleton Swedish Fish the game. I announced it over 8 months ago, and I have to be honest, I haven't really gotten a lot done yet. But I wanted to showcase what I have gotten done so far, and I was hoping to maybe attract the attention of more experienced developers to maybe get some advice. Without further ado, let's just get straight into it, okay? So I've been making a lot of pixel art for the game. I redesigned Skeleton, his sprite sheet recently. For those of you unaware of the project, this is Skeleton, the gumball machine. He's based off animations I made in like early high school, like late middle school. The lore is deep, trust me. You have to watch the animations, guys. The point of the game is to recreate the Skeleton Swedish Fish story that I created so long ago entirely in the game, and then have an ending to it, because for longtime fans, you are very aware that the series does not have an ending. It has a cliffhanger, and I left it to rot. And that's because animation is difficult. I didn't want to do the same thing I was continuing to do, and I wanted to flesh out the story a little better. So once again, this is my sprite sheet for Skeleton. I will be adding more, I will be changing stuff. This is just a basic, like bare bones sprite sheet that I've made. I designed Eggman. He is the main protagonist, and this is a good time to bring up, I think, voice acting. So one of my good friends is going to be voice acting for Eggman. I am the voice for Skeleton. As you can see up here, I've got all the Swedish fish that I've designed recently, and they are all voiced by my good friends. So once again, we have Skeleton, Eggman, and then I created a bunch of Swedish fish designs. I really like this one. This was the first one I started with because I figured it was simple and we knew what kind of gimmick we were going to give Mr. Bert, the Swedish fish played by my friend Caden. Obviously, he's just a purple Swedish fish. He's got the hat and the monocle. He's a fancy, happy, jolly guy. I guess I should show the default Swedish fish I made. This is the template that I basically set up for a Swedish fish. I think I might have to redesign and rename Swedish fish, because that is a copywritten, branded piece of candy. Alternatively, I thought about reaching out to the Swedish fish headquarters, like on Twitter or Instagram or some kind of social media. I was thinking about reaching out to them and asking them for permission to use the name Swedish Fish, because I don't think I'm using their name in any harmful way. And in fact, I think I've made Swedish Fish, my Swedish Fish series, at least among my friends, is a little bit iconic, at least to me. The Skeleton Swedish Fish series is iconic to me. It is a series close to my heart. It's brought us closer together. I call my friend group the Council of Swedish Fish, and let's introduce them. So obviously I've already talked about Mr. Bert. Next up we have Francesca. She's undergone a bit of a redesign since the series, because in the series she was just a pink Swedish fish, and that's lame, right? So it is like a hot pink, like a warm pink Swedish fish. We gave her some lipstick, some makeup, like a lash, and she's got a silver necklace and with a purple gem. I forget what the gem is. Francesca is going to be voiced by my girlfriend, Madison, otherwise known as Coffee Gamer. She actually came in and helped me redesign this fish to make it more unique. This is Mr. Bert. He is obviously not a gummy fish, and I think that was part of the gimmick. We were going to make him an orange Swedish fish, but we were looking through. Well, I saw the design for Finn from the Goldfish commercials, and I said, wow, that reminds me of you, my good friend Roman. And so thus Frankward the Swedish fish was born. He's going to be the sarcastic one, and he kind of doesn't really care. She's sassy, she can be mean, Francesca. And this is Smeef Finkelstein. Now, Smeef Finkelstein is not white in the show. Smeef Finkelstein is like an RGB keyboard. He just kind of keeps shifting. For some behind-the-scene knowledge, basically in the show, I made a green Swedish fish, and I basically green screened it and hue shifted it to make it rainbow. But in the game, I don't think you can't green screen in gaming software. So what I've done is I've made him white, and I believe I can still hue shift him. So that is yet to be tested. We'll see how that goes. But Smee Finkelstein is kind of insane. He's like a Pokemon. He only says his name, but he's going to be a very powerful ally. And now you might be wondering, if you're an old fan, why there are more Swedish Fish that I haven't introduced. This is the whole core cast, though. I've added what I call the outer council of Swedish Fish because I wanted to include a lot more of my friends in the Swedish Fish, like the council, as we call ourselves. And I just thought it would be really cool to add some more. So this one is unnamed right now, but this is a very nice, it's a light pink, so it is not the same kind of pink. I don't think they look that similar, like the makeup versus like the bow tie. Like, they're completely different. I think it's way lighter. I was worried that having two pink Swedish Fish that are girls would come off as bad, but I'm hoping to include maybe a third girl Swedish Fish who is possibly green, possibly like yellow, something around there, because I also have two blue Swedish Fish. This one is Donkey. This one is a little more thought out right now. We're thinking that this Swedish Fish is going to have water-based abilities or possibly weather. This guy is a little bit timid, but he is goofy at heart. This is Donkey, the Swedish Fish. And this one was actually one of my favorite to design. This is Trevny. I don't want to get too into the story of him, but basically, at the bare minimum knowledge you need to know about this guy is that he is like a banished Swedish Fish, basically. I really had a lot of fun making him look torn up. I gave him this scar and this eye patch, and he's covered in scars, and if I can actually take the eye patch off, and I designed it like this. I'm not sure which I like better. I think I really like seeing his blind eye. As you can see, looking at the other Swedish Fish, they all have pupils. Except for this guy. More on that another day. But they all have pupils, except for this guy, and his is white because he's a little bit blind. It's actually, I think it's either white or like a very light gray. So I guess from here we have to get into my programming, my actual game. So as you can see, it is a bare bones, no pun intended, skeleton of a game right now. If I press play, I can show you what we can do. I can move, and it's animated. It's kind of fun if you go back and forth. Shoot, how do I do this? Yeah, it's kind of fun seeing it go back and forth like that. He can, oh, there's this chop. And he can jump. And he can jump on top of this guy. Which is not supposed to happen. This guy has no AI yet. This is Eggman. And actually, if we go to the debugger and I actually hit Eggman, you can see an error will pop up. And that's one of the issues I had. I just implemented this attack, and right now, something about the code doesn't quite work. And I've also, as you can see, the hand is like behind him for some reason. So that's another thing I have to fix. But I'll give you guys a closer look at this. What I've got going on here, this is the sprite. I created that sprite sheet. I have a hitbox that he will, this is his hurt box basically. And then to the left and to the right is his hitboxes. So this is a hurt box. This is a hitbox. I think I can actually, I'm going to change the color of this to reflect that. So let's make this, if we press play again, I can actually see them activate, and they will be red to show that they are activated, which is very cool. Now, none of this is going to show up in the game. This is purely for development, and maybe I'll have a hitboxes version of the game. But you can see that when I press the space bar, it activates the hitboxes. Now, one thing I do have to fix, I think it looks okay looking to the right. Looking to the left, I don't know why, but Skeleton seems to be backing up. So that is something I will have to be adjusting. And obviously, I need to figure out why this doesn't work. Because as you can see at the debugger, it just keeps piling up. In the animations, right now, all I have is an idle attack animations and the run animations, which are mostly just him looking left and right. I wanted to add a dynamic gumball system, which, to explain, I wanted his glass dome to be empty in the sprites, and I wanted to have actual, like, 1 pixel gumballs that were colored. And I created a code. You can actually look at this here. I created a code for when they spawn in, for it to pick a random color, and it's just a white. So it is normally a white gumball pixel, but when it spawns in, it changes color. And I thought that was fun to create these random gumballs. As you can see in the footage I'm going to throw up on the screen right now, the it does not work, basically. The random colored gum is working in this clip, but the dynamic gumballs, as I've been calling them, seem to not work in one way or another. And that has been a little bit frustrating. So this is, let me show you guys the gumball code, or at least what it looks like. This was like my last ditch effort to create like a double layer of the like gumball machine. And in theory, I should be able to put the gumball on skeleton. In theory, I can put this right here, and I can take a bunch of gumballs and put them inside. But if I do this, wow, that's a new one. And now it's displacing the gumball head. This is a new one. Wow, that's beautiful. So, that's not working right now. So let's just get rid of it. Delete all of that. Because as it is right now, I just need to make a working game. Basically, my plan for the future right now is I want to design a proper first level. I want to design basic enemies that can be killed and not create an error. And I want to create 1 Swedish fish power. So going back to these guys, what these guys are going to do is they are going to contribute to a power system. The Swedish fish in this world, the Council of Swedish Fish, are like a pantheon of gods for skeleton and the Swedish fish. And Mr. Burt is a character that we have fleshed out a little more than some of the other fish. And we have thought up, I actually have a little notebook here. So I can actually go ahead and look at some ideas we have. Mr. Burt, we're deciding what kind of ability he's going to give skeleton. Like, we've thought of passive abilities, we have thought of active abilities. The kind of things I have right now, like maybe he will befriend an enemy for a moment, like turn them to your side. Maybe he spills a huge cup of hot tea because he's supposed to be British, apparently. I wrote in also something related with money. Like, these are the kinds of ideas I'm coming up with for Francesca. Let's see here. Same idea for the first idea, like maybe she swoons the enemies to your side, but that didn't seem in character, so probably not that one. We're actually thinking that she'll perform some kind of debuff against the enemy because she is known to be a roaster. She's very sassy. I want to expand on that idea because I feel like that's a little too simple, but that's one idea. Smee Finkelstein, I have plenty of ideas for this guy. We definitely think he's going to give a really powerful ability, like think like a Mario Superstar invincibility. Another one I thought of was like, I keep picturing the same like meme of like a death laser where it's that yellow head and the red lips and he goes Rah! And I think it would be really funny. I even drew a little picture here of him doing that because I just thought that was a good idea. To summarize, we have all of this pixel art that I've created, and I have a basic skeleton of a game, for lack of better terms. It has a playable character, and it doesn't crash. so I could release this, but I don't want to do that. What I want to do is design a first level. I want to design enemies like grunts, and I have a few different ideas for that. We'll have to workshop that one. And I want to design one of the Swedish fish powers. Maybe I'll start with Smeef. That could be very fun. If you guys want to see updates on the game progress, you can join my Discord server for free. It's in the description of every video I upload. I will be sharing some art on there. I will be sharing questions I might have, or maybe I'll ask for opinions. Maybe I'll set up polls, threads. I have a lot of ideas. And once again, as of right now, this is all free. Maybe in the future, I will put some kind of Patreon paywall, because, you know, I gotta make a living at the end of the day. Once again, if you are a video game developer yourself and you have more knowledge on this kind of thing, I would love some advice. Just figuring out problems like this. I will often feel so daunted when I see a problem like this where it says, you know, there is some kind of error calling this cannot convert argument, and it like shuts my brain down to an extent. I don't fully understand what I'm supposed to do about it, and I have a hard time trying to figure out how I can fix the issue. I'm just saying I could use some help. Anyway, thank you for bearing with me, guys. I'm really putting myself out there, just showing you guys everything I've been working on, because I'm not afraid to say that I need some help, and I also just I'm just proud of the few things I have done, and I'm really excited to really bring my vision to life. There's a part of me that's worried that I'm not going to be able to bring any of this to life. There's a part of me that fears that this is going to be left to rot, just like the series was originally, and I don't want it to end up like that. I really do want to put something out there. I am hoping to expand the story with this game, so add more, like obviously the final saga, the final part of the series, but I'm hoping to even add some more stuff in between, really. I'm not so sure how that's going to work out. If it comes to a case of laziness, or if I just am too busy trying to manage my own life, manage money, I might just have to make the original story and then that final ending. I could keep talking forever, though. My friends call me the yapper. I call myself a yapper. So I'm just going to end it right here. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!